Unit 6, Formative 2, Day 3, Central Tendencies. We have the mean, median, mode, and range. The mean is the average of the numbers, where you add them all up and divide by total number of how many there are. The median is the middle number. You just got to make sure you line them up in order from smallest to biggest first. The mode is the number that repeats most often. And the range is the biggest number minus the smallest number. So the first one says find all the central tendencies for the number set 3, 7, 4, 9, 6, 8, 4. First thing you're going to want to do is put them in order, and if you do that, you would get 3, 4, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. To find the mean, we would add all those numbers up, and you would get 41 over there's 7 total numbers, so divided by 7. If you divide that, you'd get 5.86. Your median, you got to find your middle number, so you can just cross off 1 at a time, so 3 and 9, 4 and 8, 4 and 7. If you look, you're only left with 6, so 6 is your median, or your middle number. Your mode, the number that repeats most often, is 4, because it repeats twice, nothing else repeats. And your range is biggest minus smallest, so 9 minus 3, which is 6. Okay, and then they're going to ask you what would be the best fit. So what you want to do is you want to look for what's called an outlier. An outlier is a number that doesn't belong. So in this number set, between 3 and 9, is there any number that doesn't belong? Not really. So you're going to use the mean as your best fit. Next one. Find the central tendencies for the number set 13, 6, 11, 10, 9, and 32. Again, put them in order first, so you would get 6, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 32. Your mean, again, is your average. You'd add all the numbers up, and you'd get 81 divided by how many there are, and there's 6 numbers. And if you actually divide that, that'd be 13.5. Your median, or your middle number, just cross them off, so 6 and 32, 9 and 13, 10 and 11, so it's actually right in between 10 and 11. So what you do is you add those two numbers up, so 10 plus 11, and divide by 2, and the number between 10 and 11 would be 10.5. Your mode, you look if any numbers repeat, and none of them do, so you call that no mode. Your range, your biggest number minus your smallest number, so in this case is 32 minus 6, which is 26. And last but not least, you want to figure out what's the best fit. So which one of these describes the data the best? So you look for an outlier. Well, right now 32 is what you would consider an outlier because it doesn't belong with all the other numbers. It's way bigger than the rest. An outlier can either be way bigger or way smaller, and so that would mean that it would change the mean drastically because it will pull it up. So the median in this case would be what you would call your best fit. And last one, find the missing value from the test scores of 80, 93, 91, and X. What grade would you need on your next test to have an average of 90? So this is going backwards. They tell you what the mean is. We have to find the missing value. Well, if we wanted to find the average of these numbers, we would take 80 plus 93 plus 91 plus your X and divide by how many test scores that is, and that's 4. And they're telling us the answer of that would be 90. The average is 90. So now we have to work backwards. So to undo that, divide by 4. You got to times both sides by 4. And if you do that, you get 360. Then if you actually add these numbers up, 80, 93, and 91, you get 264 plus your X equals 360. And then last step to solve for X, you would subtract 264, and you'd get X equals 96. So in order to get an average of 90, you would need to get a 96% on your next test. So that is central tendencies.